How to help loved ones with borderline personality disorder. Borderline personality disorder (BPD) is a serious mental illness that causes unbalanced moods, erratic behaviors, and unstable relationships. Helping a loved one with BPD can be overwhelming and problematic, especially if you are taken along the emotional roller coaster with him or her. If you set boundaries, communicate with your loved one, and take care of yourself, you can help your loved one with BPD. Setting boundaries with your loved one. Discuss your limits. When you are helping a loved one with BPD, you need to set up strict boundaries for your relationship. Your loved one will likely be going through an emotional roller coaster at any point and can take it out on you. Have an honest discussion about what your personal limits are and what you won't take from your loved one. For example, tell your loved one, "If you start verbally abusing me, I am going to walk away." You can also say, "If you get to a point where I think you may hurt or attack me, I will leave the room or the house." Let your loved one know you still love him or her. Relationships between loved ones where one has BPD can be tense and problematic. Your loved one's disorder can cause major problems that may lead to hurt feelings and stressed relationships. Despite this, you need to let your loved one know that you still love him or her, even if you have to leave. For example, tell your loved one, "I love you and want to stay in your life. However, there may be times when I have to remove myself from the situation because of your behavior." Encourage your family member to seek treatment. If your loved one has BPD, you cannot force him or her to get treatment. However, you can encourage your loved one to get help, and you can ask if you can offer your help in any way. By asking your loved one if you can help, he or she may be more likely to accept. For example, you could try telling your loved one, "I would like you to get some help because you are hurting yourself. I love you and only want to see you get better. Would you be willing to let me make an appointment for you with someone who can help?" Set realistic goals. When you are helping your loved one, you want to make sure to set realistic goals. It is common for people with BPD to have big goals in mind or try to do too much at once, so help your loved one to slow down. If your loved one has some big goals in mind, try to tackle them in small, achievable steps instead of all at one time. This way, your loved one will feel accomplished but know there is more to work on. For example, if your loved one says he wants to find a full-time job and finish his college degree within the next year, then you might encourage him to focus on one of these goals at a time. Then, you could break the goal into smaller steps. For example, if the goal is to finish his college degree, then you might encourage your loved one to focus on small goals, such as enrolling in classes, meeting with an academic advisor, and joining a study group to increase his chances of success. Use direct language. When your loved one with BPD is running on emotions, he or she may not be able to understand complicated language or long sentences. Instead, speak to your loved one in short, direct sentences that get your point across effectively. This will decrease the chance that your loved one will misinterpret your words or what you are trying to say. For example, tell your loved one, "I am leaving. I don't want to say anything I regret. I'll come back when we're both calm. I love you." Know when to walk away. When your loved one is extremely agitated or explosive, it may be a good time to remove yourself from the situation. Detaching yourself from the situation for a little while may help to de-escalate your loved one's emotions. Try telling your loved one, "I will come back in an hour. We can discuss this when both of us are calm." Leaving the situation is also a good idea because it can prevent you from engaging with your loved one's accusations. It is important to avoid becoming defensive in response to your loved one's accusations. This may make your loved one angrier and cause the situation to escalate. 8.
Could online counseling be even better than in-person treatment? Let's take a quick look at why so many people are switching to online therapy over in-person treatment. There have been several recent studies that have shown online therapy to not only be just as effective as face-to-face counseling, but even more effective in some cases. You only get help from real licensed professionals. You receive the same high level of professional counseling as you would with in-person treatment without even having to leave your home. With in-person counseling, you have to set up an appointment weeks in advance, and you can only speak with your therapist during your one scheduled visit per week. That's not the case with online therapy. With online counseling, you can talk to a licensed therapist right now. You can have extra sessions per week, ask questions whenever you need, and get help whenever you need it, sometimes even 24 hours a day. There's no need to wait for your one weekly session with online therapy. Plus, online therapy is way more convenient than traditional counseling. As I just mentioned, online therapy is not only on your schedule, but you have the convenience of counseling at home whenever you need it. And that also means that you can get counseling on nights and weekends, whenever it's most convenient for you. Another benefit of online counseling is that it's far more confidential than in-person counseling. While you still get all of the benefits of a professional therapist who understands you and your personal issues, they can be located across the country. Depending on the platform, they may only have your name and the state you live in, and not even know what you look like, which makes some people much more comfortable when opening up to their therapist, which can also give some people far better results. Plus, you'll never have to worry about the awkwardness of bumping into your therapist at the grocery store or in a social situation. Which also brings us to the benefit that, if for some reason you don't really like your therapist, you can easily change to a new therapist without having to deal with any embarrassment or awkward situations. Online therapy is far less expensive than in-person treatment. In fact, many people who would otherwise never be able to afford face-to-face treatment are able to get the counseling that they need online. Do you think online therapy might be right for you? If so, give online therapy a try today. You'll get 20% off your first month when you sign up through this link, depressionarchive.com/BPD20. That's depressionarchive.com/BPD20. The link is also in the description below. Give them a try today. You'll be glad you did.